We're going to go to the Mayor's report. Please provide the Mayor's report for the period of September 24th through October the 7th, 2013. A number of meetings, it seems we're right back into the swing of things with meetings, and I know there were many more that members of council attended that I was not able to, and I'm going to ask them to highlight some of those at the conclusion of my report. I can note some of the meetings that I did attend. September the 24th, along with Councillor Fensky and City Manager Sepatelli and other administration, we had a conference call with Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries to talk about the social responsibility initiative that is being undertaken. I can tell you it was an interesting conversation. I had hoped that there would be some additional dollars that would likely flow to communities as a result of this new initiative by the province of Manitoba regarding social responsibility. Unfortunately, it's my understanding that most of the dollars that are likely to flow have already been spent. We will follow up with conversations with both the province and Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries to look for opportunities for Thompson, because certainly, and it's been discussed many times around this table, that if there's ever a place in this province where I think social responsibility is very clearly evident, it is in Thompson, Manitoba. On September the 25th, I had the opportunity to participate in the citizenship ceremony. It's always a pleasure. Judge McCrae was in Thompson this year, had a good opportunity to speak with him, a former cabinet minister of the provincial government. And it's a great event. I know other members of council have attended in the past, but it is a phenomenal event in that you see, in this case, 20 new Canadians take the oath. And truly to see the level of excitement and appreciation for those individuals becoming Canadian citizens is truly moving. And I think all too often, too many Canadians take for granted what those individuals are looking for. And I have to acknowledge, I was somewhat humbled because those taking the ceremony had to take it in both official languages, and I'm not convinced I would be able to do that. So my hat's off to them. And I also not convinced that many Canadians would actually pass the test if they were forced to do it without studying. That's a bit of a concern, but certainly it's a great ceremony. I also want to acknowledge Burntwood School. They did an absolutely phenomenal job. To see the youth dressed in red and white and the performances by the students, it truly was a great event. Also on September 25th, Council and the Northern Regional Health Association held a reception here at City Hall. We hosted that for the board and the administration of NRHA. I thought it was a great opportunity to have a good discussion in terms of what's taken place with the transition of the board, but also it was acknowledged at that meeting, and we certainly will be making it, I think, through a communication, public information, that there is an agreement where the NRHA is going to fund $165,000 to outfit in the fitness area of the Thompson Regional Community Center. I think that is a great initiative and a partnership that I'm very appreciative of. And I do want to acknowledge our administration, especially Tammy Perobic and Angela English, for doing a great job in terms of hosting that event, and I look forward to a continued positive relationship with NRHA. On September 26th, I attended the YWCA's 41st annual general meeting, and I want to acknowledge the volunteer board of directors as well as the staff for the work that they've done at the YWCA over those 41 years. It was acknowledged and that one of the founding members, and I believe the first CEO, Molly Robinson, who is also a former city councillor, passed away recently, and that was noted for her tremendous commitment to that organization. And I think it's great to see new board members. It was interesting. I believe of 4 new board members that were installed, 3 of them had lived in the community for, I think, 2 years or less, and I think that's a great signal of rejuvenation of organizations. Also on the 26th, we had a meeting here at City Hall with the regarding dispatch standards for Thompson Fire and Emergency Services and Manitoba Health. We certainly are in discussions with Manitoba Health, who have a desire to see the City of Thompson move to the provincial program and system that they have in place. I appreciate the work that Chief Mascarene and his staff have done to ensure that the needs and wants of the residents of the City of Thompson are respected, and that we continue to provide a top-notch service. I think we provide an absolute premier service here in the province. They acknowledge that. Obviously, there's a desire to see some movement towards their system, and we'll continue in those discussions. Nothing was finalized at that meeting. On September the 30th, I attended a meeting hosted by our Member of Parliament, Nikki Ashton, with a number of chiefs from Northern Manitoba, including Grand Chief Sinclair from KTC, a representative from MKO, as well as Chief Spence, Constant, and Muskego from Northern Manitoba. I'll note Councillor Lafreniere was also in the meeting, and City Manager Sepatelli attended with myself as well. We had a very good discussion in terms of the relationship of the City of Thompson and where we are in terms of moving forward and supporting each other as this community grows and prospers for the benefit of all residents in Northern Manitoba. We certainly addressed some of the challenges that we have, and specifically the impact and the results of the discussion surrounding the Thompson Unlimited letter. I'm pleased that we agreed coming out of that letter that we will move forward. I can advise that Grand Chief Sinclair extended an invitation to myself and all members of council to attend their annual General Assembly, which is coming up at the end of the month, and I'll get further details for members of council. And we also discussed the current situation with Omnitrax and the transport of oil. So I want to extend my appreciation to Member of Parliament Ashton for holding the meeting, and to all the participants that I think held a very frank and honest discussion, and certainly the commitment to move forward into the future. On October the 1st, the Thompson Area Roundtable met. Unfortunately, we knew that some members weren't going to be able to attend, but we did have representation from the Northern Association Community Councils and the Manitoba Métis Federation, and I did have a chance to talk with President Meade and Vice President Lajemodier about moving forward. All members have agreed that the memorandum of understanding that was prepared is acceptable. We are moving forward with the formation of the Thompson Area Roundtable, and it's anticipated the next opportunity hopefully is before Christmas. And not to be an overly formal organization, but really to be an opportunity to meet when there are joint concerns of the organizations in Northern Manitoba. And the members of the Thompson Area Roundtable are the same members as the stakeholders of the Thompson Economic Diversification Working Group, and it is a transition into that next phase of the relationship. On October the 3rd, I did have an opportunity, along with Councillor Fensky and City Manager Sepatelli, to meet with representatives from Manitoba Liquor Control Commission, and specifically enforcement. Gary Suchek was in our community, and as well as the inspectors. We had a good conversation, talked a little bit about the legislation changes that are coming that council is aware of, which will give the municipality some more input into licensing and the information regarding the penalty phases. And I think I thanked that part of the organization for a really strong relationship now in terms of communication regarding the enforcement aspects of MLCC, and we'll continue to work together. On October the 4th, I attended the Sisters in Spirit Vigil for murdered and missing Aboriginal women, and I want to acknowledge Councillor Robinson joined me that evening. It truly is a moving event in terms of people gathering and acknowledging, unfortunately, a very real reality in this country, and certainly in Northern Manitoba in our community. And I want to thank all the organizers for being there, all the people, especially the youth from R.D. Parker and from the community. I think it was very good to see people out and continue to support those families and really work to make a difference in our community and show that we're going to care. And I think the message to me is that there's one thing to be said about talking about problems. There's another thing in terms of getting out and taking action to resolve those. And I think that it was somewhat of a cool evening. I think that that's appropriate in many ways, because I think that, believe me, that's pales in comparison to the hardship and the pain that the families of those people go through. So I appreciate the work of the organizers and all those that attended. On October the 5th, I attended the home opener of the Norman AAA North Stars, the opening of the 29th season here in Thompson, which is truly an achievement. I want to acknowledge President Salamandic, all the volunteers on the board. It takes an awful lot to run that organization and a lot of commitment. Thompson is not the closest to any of the other communities, so they have to run a pretty tight ship, and they do a tremendous job. I also acknowledge Coach McNevin and his assistants, and Captain Valentino and the players who really are ambassadors for this community, and I appreciate the efforts. It was a great night. I think the crowd was over 700 in the Thompson Regional Community Center, which was a good environment, and good to see people in the rink again. Just a couple things before I move on to some of the other events I know that council members attended. I just want to talk first to an announcement that was made on October the 1st, and that is that the City of Thompson has issued a second call for participants for the Protégé program. Last year, council, as you're aware, and hopefully the public is aware, we offered the city's Protégé program. The program is developed with the Federation of Canadian Municipalities and targets young women ages 18 to 28 who are interested in becoming leaders and decision makers in municipal government. Aims to inspire young women to run for office, familiarize them through hands-on experience with what it means to be a municipal councillor. We had two tremendous protégés last year. I want to acknowledge Councillor Lafreniere and our Deputy Mayor Hogan for acting as mentors. We are now accepting applications for the coming year. The deadline for applications is going to be October 25th. I would suggest that if there are people in the community and they want more information, they can approach any members of council or contact our administration and get more details. I think most of the community is aware, but we do have upcoming meetings on October the 9th at Juniper School and October 30th at Deerwood School. We'll be holding our annual Speak Up Thompson event, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Just because it's held in that neighborhood, it is open to all residents of the City of Thompson to come out. We just like to rotate the neighborhoods over the term of the office. This is an opportunity for Thompsonites to come out. We're going to be there to listen, and I look forward to hearing your comments. They form part of the basis of going into the budget process for council as we move forward. And just to give a little bit of teaser in terms of what we're thinking in terms of some of the conversation, there's 3 questions that we've offered. One is, what are your ideas to make Thompson and your neighborhood a better place to live? What initiatives should the City of Thompson prioritize this year? And in your view, which City of Thompson program services are most successful? What would you like the City of Thompson to do more of? So again, I encourage people to come out, not just those questions, but any comments or questions they have to share with us. We're there to listen, encourage people to come out. Lastly, I'm going to read some proclamations. By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Mayor of the City of Thompson, I hereby proclaim October 6th through 12th, 2013 as National Fire Prevention Week in the City of Thompson. I hereby proclaim the month of October 2013 as Seniors and Elders Month in the City of Thompson, and I hereby proclaim the month of October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the City of Thompson. Before I move on, I just want Chief Mascarene maybe to highlight, as this is National Fire Prevention Week, a new vehicle that has been provided to the City of Thompson, which is on display this evening in the front parking lot. Chief Mascarene.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson, and members of council for supporting our National Week of Fire Prevention. We've been assigned a trailer from the Office of the Fire Commissioner. It's a fire prevention trailer. It'll work well with our youth at the schools, and we kicked our schools off today with Deerwood being the first one. That trailer is going to be assigned to us year-round, and it'll work well for our youth as well as our seniors. And it's state-of-the-art, and I invite you all, when you're leaving the building tonight, maybe just stop in and have a look. And you'll notice that this month is going to be Pink T-shirt month for our firefighters. We're all in pink, so I don't have mine on tonight, but I will have it next time around. So thanks again for the proclamation.
Thank you, Chief, and I have had a chance to take a look at the trailer, and it is extremely impressive. I was very impressed that I believe 14 of those trailers have been made available across the province to promote fire safety, and I think that's great to see, so I appreciate the work that you're doing. I also know that there were a number of other meetings. Specifically, there was a tender policy presentation to the Chamber of Commerce, as well as I know 2 of our councillors are sitting on the Seniors Housing Committee, and I know there's been a number of meetings relating to that, so I'd open it up to any other members of council who have attended events over the last 2 weeks. Councillor Lafreniere.
Thank you. Just to acknowledge that something not in your report, but you were there, the Take Back the Night with the YWCA. I know Tim and Aaron were both participated in at the beginning, and I went on the walk. So it was a nice evening, and just to acknowledge the work of the YWCA and the Crisis Center. And as Mayor Johnston mentioned, we did the procurement policy presentation to the Chamber of Commerce and also to the Rotary Club the following day. And I guess we don't usually mention all the meetings we do in between, but just in this last reporting period, I participated in the Thompson Housing Agency, which is related to the seniors housing. Our staff is supporting that work. And the Thompson Recycle Center, we've also been having our board meetings for that as well. Thank you.
I appreciate reminding me of the Take Back the Night. That was the same night. I think there were a number of events that day, so I haven't been able to capture them all. I appreciate that. Any further comments? I'm going to ask Councillor Clatter, Councillor Byron, maybe just without saying anything you can't say, but just highlight maybe some of the work going on in the seniors housing, because I think it's really exciting.
Councillor Byer update you on that. She's on the executive of the board, and then I have an update as well on another initiative. So,
Thank you.
Councillor Byer.
The focus right now is on what I call the administration paperwork to start, the articles of incorporation and that sort of thing. Also, front and center, we're meeting to develop a fundraising strategy. It is, for people who aren't aware of it, the Lions Club of Thompson is donating their portion of land, and they're spearheading the work that needs to be done for this. And at this point in time, the housing will be a combination of affordable and market-driven. Affordable is based on a person's income, and I think there's a ceiling on it. And of course, market-driven is whatever the market will bear. That will affect the fundraising that needs to be done in the strategy. There's a tremendous amount of work ahead of this group, but they are a very committed group, and if things go according to plan, we'll probably see a shovel in the ground in 2014.
Thank you. I just want to highlight that I think this is a tremendous opportunity for this community to rally in a similar manner that what we saw with the Northern Spirit Manor. This is the next progression for this community in terms of affordable seniors housing, so people who want to choose to stay in Thompson are able to do that. And I appreciate the role of our two councillors on that committee, but I also want to acknowledge, as indicated, Nick Virgilio and all the other Lions members and all the other members of the committee that are trying to make this work, and they're doing it fairly quickly in response to a call for proposals by the province of Manitoba. Councillor Clatter.
Yes, I want to report on the Valley Community Liaison meeting. I was remiss in that I didn't report on it last meeting. However, it was held in September. Valley usually update the participants, and the participants are a representative from all the surrounding communities and, of course, Thompson. Valley reported that their cost reduction is on target. They reported on their activity at Tedwig. They gave us an environmental monitoring update. In the community sharing, the discussion was mainly on the implications of the hydro development, past and future. In the future, it may be that liaison meeting will make community visits and hold meetings in some of the surrounding communities. The next meeting, it's held quarterly. The next meeting is slated for December 5th. And Valley was encouraging people to access their annual report on the Thompson operation on their website. So it's on www.valley.com/Canada. So this is just on the Manitoba operations, and it's the 2012 annual update. So I will report after the December meeting. So.
Excellent. Thank you. Just in closing, I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. For those that are traveling, safe travels, and enjoy the weekend. It looks like the weather should be very, very nice, and it's not going to last, so take this opportunity to enjoy it. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.